one of the things that stresses me out when I just think of our development is like now we're uh, competing against rivals of Ether.
Hey guys, it's Rottweiler back at it again with. Today I'm going to be talking about the biggest Rivals of Ether controversy for the community and for me, and this is going to be one for the book, so let's get into it. I have a lot I want to talk about in this video, as always. And to make it as simple and as cohesive as possible, I need to split it into parts. I was telling Cortez, this is a very delicate video because there's so many parties involved that care. So the biggest issue here, and this is the first part of the video, and I have to start with this because it's going to lead into everything else. Genesis is not having Rivals of Ether 1 as its Sunday top 8 finals spot like it normally would. Granted, we normally would have 6 spots instead of 8, so we should, to some people, be thankful for the extra 2 matches, right? But some of us actually have substance standards for ourselves, especially if competitors who believe that not only should we have always had a top 8 spot, but we should have also have gotten this year the Sunday spot for Rivals 1. Rivals 1, it's on a natural decline. Even though that's the case though, I don't believe how Genesis was handled for Rivals 1 was correct in the slightest. The Genesis situation was just handled very poorly. It's not even a matter of opinion anymore. It's just it was handled poorly. Because we have players, competitors, who have spent so many hours, and for some, more hours than they have ever put into Rivals 1. They have put that time in for this season. And that may be a shocker to some people because it's the last season, but that right there is the reason. It's the last season. And so you have people who have yet to make their mark the way they want on the game. This is their chance to do it one final time in front of 14,000 plus people at the final Genesis for Rivals of Ether 1 is what they thought. So for Rivals 2, a game that is literally unpracticable, that's not even a word, but 90% of the people participating for free in that Rivals 2 bracket cannot even understand half of the mechanics in the game that you're trying to show off at Genesis, which is supposed to be, like, in my opinion, like the peak level of gameplay for Rivals, because that's our Evo, you know. I vividly remember being in SoulRifle's stream after he lost one of these online major tournaments years ago, and he was sitting in that stream so sad. I was like, dude, your maple is cracked. One of the best maples I've ever seen. If you keep playing, you'll be insane. Like, don't feel bad, right? And for him to just grow to such exponential heights and become easily a top 3 player just for a chance to show everybody how good he is on a Sunday stage, finally. And that's where it hurts, you know? Because it's like the Rivals 1 community, we love Dan, and we know Dan loves us, so this just doesn't feel right. And now we're going to move over to the second part of this video. I feel like this game is becoming Trevor's game. This is not Dan's game anymore. And I feel like you can see that when you look at the character design. Trevor and Dan have 2 different philosophies when it comes to fighting games, or platform fighting games, melee, whatever. Dan cares more about fun. Trevor cares more about practicality and honestly just bare bones gameplay.
Hey Trevor, why can't I wall jump after up special?
Because there's ledges. Next question.
Hey, wait. I will say I've put some kinks because everyone right now it's been a little bit of like when I was at Heatwave too, people were like asking me, and I said about our defense, and then they asked more questions, and I was like, you gotta talk to Trevor, because last time we were talking about something, we were talking about, I forget, it's something up special, and I was like, wait, what if? Oh yeah, Crag Ken when you pillarless. And I was like, well, do we foresee a world on like Zetterburn where as long as you go like you don't go up at all? And we're not at that stage yet, but there's some like gears turning of like, wait, if you don't go up, if you use the move to go down, could you wall jump? So right now you can't, even on Zetterburn. I think we gotta just tweet at Trevor, you know? Be like, hey Trevor, would it be cool if ...
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up.
So, ledge boosting removed, baby dashing removed, drift DI removed. When we look at the mechanics they choose to add and take away from Rivals 1 to Rivals 2, it feels like Rivals 2 is pushing all or many Rivals 1 legacy things out of the way.
Trevor, why was drift DI removed? This
Bad.
question has been asked.
Oh my god. Drift DI is when you're in knockback, you can hold sideways to drift sideways. What this does is it makes combos a lot harder to like react to. You kind of have to predict more. It also lessens the impact of DI since you can kind of adjust after the fact. It really just wasn't necessary for what we were making.
Maple is the only character in that game to me that has any semblance or resemblance of Dan ideas. Poppy, Terry, those plants that enhance Maple's gameplay, that is what I was looking for in Rivals 2 characters. But when I look at Rivals 2 characters so far, every character just looks like either a side grade, a downgrade, or exactly the same. I pray Dan listens to this video because I want him to know I think he's a solid developer who has phenomenal ideas and keeps the game fresh and alive with those ideas. But I think that he doesn't see that in his own development skill set, and he disregards himself too often. And it scares me because it confirms how I feel about Rivals 2, and that it's not a sequel. It is a reboot of the series. There are so many core mechanics just removed from the game that it doesn't feel like the same game. Pummel special, ghetto special, lead special, replace the old, here's the new. That doesn't really feel like a sequel to me. It feels like you should build upon what the players liked. And nothing tells me I'm right more than Tekken 8. If the player base loved baby dashing and ledge boosting so much, and it didn't hurt the game, why would that be on the back foot? Why wouldn't that just be such a natural progression into the sequel? That's what a sequel would do. It would look at what the players loved to do in the first game. The heat mechanic literally takes characters' most iconic moves and most iconic traits and amplifies them. That is essentially exactly what I wanted Rivals 2 to do. Shaheen is a character I play in Tekken, and in Tekken 7, all he has after a slide is a guaranteed low kick. Most characters don't even get a low anything after a slide, but that one aspect to Shaheen's character was enough for the development team for Tekken 8 to say, yo, let's take that even further. Let's give him a guaranteed move that flips them upside down back on the ground to keep that ground pressure going. Make him the slide character. Make him the guy that keeps you on the ground. You took one small aspect of a character, a no-name, forgettable character like Shaheen even, and the Tekken team built on it. They just added to the game and the characters. Rivals 2 has been taking away and replacing. Do you see why I'm frustrated? Tekken and Rivals share the exact same problem. It's like the wide audience. For the people who know of Rivals, a lot of people don't get into Rivals because it's so fucking hard, right? It's so hard to play Rivals. Even as a seasoned veteran, I just watched Durai and the Drip Collector get into a mini argument on Twitter about what you have to do to deal with a raster landing NATO in a certain position at the top of the screen. And I'm just thinking to myself, how deep does this game get to where you need to do so many micro things just to avoid this and then be there in the position to punish perfectly? You know, like, that's the type of things you have to do in Rivals 1. It's such a hard game the whole time. And Tekken had that exact problem. But the way the development teams, Rivals team, Tekken team, again, look at how they went about it. The Tekken team just went more deep. They gave you more moves. They gave you more mechanics. They gave you more to think about, gave you more to learn. Rivals, they said, let's dumb it down. Let's take away Drifty Eye, because it's too hard to combo off of, even if it fucked me up. Drifty Eye fucked me up, and I'm still would be like, it would be better to have it. Because it adds thinking, it adds depth, it adds more and more. It's richer. It's a richer game. It's what people need. It's expression. It's expression. That's why I like Rivals so much, because I always said that when I got hit, outside of Ori, Maple, and Araster, and Eliana, it feels like I'm always in the driver's seat in that game. And it's really because of Drifty Eye. Because no matter how many times you hit me, it is still, where do I want you to take this combo? Where do I want you to tech chase me? Where do I want to go on the platforms? Where do I want to go to get edge guarded? That is what Drifty Eye allows. And when you remove that, you are removing my voice. And I think that even if I'm bad and I can't react every time off of Drifty Eye, I don't think it should be removed, because Tekken has showed me that you can have a deep, intricate, hard game and it still be fun as fuck if you add it, if you just make it fun enough. If you build off what was already prior there, you build off of Drifty Eye hard to combo off of, right? We'll make a combo system that is way more focused with Drifty Eye. That's what you're missing, Dan. You keep trying to replace Rivals 1 when you really should be building off Rivals 1. Because at the end of the day, the people who stay with Rivals 2 are not going to be the PM players. It's not going to be the Melee players. It will not be the Smash Ultimate players who are waiting for Smash 6. It's going to be the Rivals 1 players, because we left Smash and PM and Melee for Rivals mechanics. So how are you not understanding that this is what it needs to do? Push the Rivals formula. Please push the Rivals formula. Push it. Push it. Believe that you are a great developer. I believe you're a great developer. We all know you can develop these games so well. You are so good, Dan. You have the greatest ideas. You do. You make great decisions. You're a strong person. You have a very sound mind. Please know that. And make a great sequel. Don't falter and make PM2. Don't make icons. There's a great, beautiful video called Imitation versus Inspiration. And I love that video because Rivals really shows that it is not an imitation or a Smash clone. It's his own game. It's his own game, dude. And you have to know that, and you have to embrace that.
But I think the Crag one is opening. It opens like some small doors, because Crag's is setting precedent that, hey, if it's, a canceled up special, you can still wall jump.